Alright, what's up you guys? Simply Platano here with a different video this time. In the background, what you're seeing is Spider-Man PS4. I was doing a side quest, which I may say I haven't played Spider-Man in a while, so this section I kind of played a little messy, okay? But that's besides the point, because here we're going to talk about a little experience I went through yesterday morning. So if a lot of you don't know about this, I started college last week. And this is my second week right now, and I have a speech class every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. So my first week, well, I have it on Mondays and Wednesdays, but we're talking about Wednesday right now. So last week, because I registered late, I went into only the Wednesday class at 7 a.m. And you know, in college they don't have full-size tables. What they have is kind of just hand tables, like, you know, the tables that you see in schools and stuff. I don't know if like middle schools or high schools or elementary schools even do that. I don't know. This was like a first time experience for me. You know, it was the first time I've ever seen. I can't speak today. So alright, so speaking of that, so the seats are assigned. Usually they're made for right-handed people, and if you don't know, I'm left-handed, so yeah, so there's not much left-handed seats per se, I would say. So, you know, thankfully most classes have at least one left-handed seat in the front of the class, which is where I like to sit, because that way I can learn as much as I can and I can hear the teacher more clearly since I'm in the front. So the speech teacher, so a little backstory. On Wednesday, I started texting like my friends and everyone this, because I already knew since Wednesday. I'm like, yeah, I can tell this teacher's gonna be annoying as hell. Well, professor. So I came in late Wednesday of last week. I came in late and I took out my binder, because I'm still used to writing, like, you know, like how in like grade school and stuff, you gotta write your name, the date, the class you in, excuse me, and the teacher's name. So I still do that in college, so I write my name, the date, and my subject. So in this case it was speech 100, so I put speech 100. I don't know my professor's name, so I don't write my professor's names because I still don't know their names. I only have them once a week for like an hour and a half, so I was like, do I have to learn your name? But anyways, so I sat in the front. You know, I wrote everything in the binder, and my professor, I looked around the class. I noticed the other students had like handouts and whatnot. I didn't know there was. Okay, so I told the professor, I'm like, excuse me, professor, I don't mean to interrupt the class, but I don't have a handout. This bitch got the nerve to say, well, you just sitting there not doing anything with yourself. I'm like, yo, I just sat down. Like, I'm supposed to assume you gave something out? What the hell? So she was like, you doing nothing with your life. So I'm like, alright, whatever. So I started looking around the classroom. I didn't want to argue, because, you know, if you argue with a professor in college, you're not winning that. You're wasting your own money. So what I did is I just looked around the classroom, unless the professor actually allows you to argue with them. You know, most of them people, they it depends. Like, if the professor's cool, so you don't want to protest your professor the first day you're there. You might, you know, if y'all cool with each other, then yeah, but on the first encounter, don't do it. That's a bad idea, because then they're gonna make it hard for you. So anyways, what I did was I just looked around the class. I noticed far into the corner of the classroom there was 3 handouts. So I'm like, is that it? She said, what do you think? I'm like, yo, it's just a yes or no question. Like, yes, no, fuck. So I went over there, I took all the papers and whatnot, whatever. And during the class, she kept making unnecessary comments about our faces. That she kept saying, oh, you guys look so uninterested. You guys look so bored. I was like, dog, it's 7 in the morning, bro. We're all tired. We just want to take our notes so that we can study and pass our class. So she kept making those comments. It's so unnecessary. Like, it's 7 in the morning, man. Like, people are tired. I had to wake up at 5 in the morning. I'm not gonna be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed unless I had like a Monster. I'm not drinking Monster because I'm trying to lose weight, even though I just had Chinese food earlier today. Okay, so enough of that. After that day, all that you guys look so bored comments, I was texting like my best friend, I was texting my friends. You know, I was texting everyone I usually talk to. I'm like, yo, I can tell this professor's gonna be annoying. So, flash forward to Monday earlier this week. So this Monday, I came into the class. I actually showed up early. I walked in. I went to the front of the class to sit back in the same seat I had because it was right there in the front. I'm like, I'm not gonna let her annoy me. I'm gonna just do what I gotta do to pass and whatnot. So I noticed when I stepped into the front, there was no left-handed seats. That bothered me. Honestly, that bothered me, man. So I started looking around. I was looking around like crazy. I'm like, where are the left-handed seats? And I noticed she moved all the left-handed seats to the back of the classroom. And it's not just the back. It's from the back in the corner of the classroom. So let me give you an example of what her room looks like. So I'm gonna try and have a room. I'm gonna try and have like a rectangle on screen, and the top left corner of the rectangle is where her table is, which is mostly where she sits down and speaks to us. So she speaks to us from her table. And then on the bottom right corner is where all the left-handed seats are. And I know she knows that I'm left-handed because what I do when I'm listening is, I know this might not look like I'm actually listening, but I like to spin my pen in my hand, like solely on my fingers. Like I'll spin it through my, like I don't know how to explain it. And I do that a lot, and I only do it with my left hand. That, and it's a left-handed seat, man. Like if you see everyone's right hand on the table, I think it's pretty noticeable when there's only one person with their left hand on the table. I think that's pretty noticeable. Besides, I was the only left-handed seat in the front in the front row. So you know, I didn't let it bother me. Because on Monday we wasn't really doing anything. We was just introducing ourselves. We're like our homework was to write an introductory speech about ourselves. So I was fine with that. I didn't really care. And by the way, I was also for some weird reason, I was also the last one. Even though, you know, I sat in the front and I handed in. Oh, actually, she probably did it from the people who handed in their paper last. Because I was one of the first people to hand in their papers last class. So anyways, we're going to flash forward to Wednesday. That's enough backstory. So Wednesday, you know, left-handed seats are still in the back. You know, I do blame myself. I didn't excuse me, I had a burp. I didn't ask her if I can move it to the front, so that's a slip up on my part. But usually the last time I asked, I got attitude. Like not from her specifically, I mean from a different professor. I got attitude, so I'm like, okay, let me just not ask. I don't want to deal with people's attitude. Early in the morning, I just came here to do what I gotta do, like I said earlier. So, I'm seeing the back, and Wednesday's class was pretty much, we had to talk about tourist attractions and all that in New York, because I guess we got an assignment coming up. She doesn't write her assignments on Blackboard or on email, so it was like, you really gotta listen to her for the homework assignments. And you know, I sit in the back, so that's even harder to hear. But anyways, so the conversation led to like attractions, like landmarks and whatnot. She was talking about like, let me give you some context. I'm Hispanic, I'm Dominican, so you know where this was going headed to. So she was like, oh, what's another type of attraction? Parades. We got Puerto Rican Day Parade, Labor Day Parade. I don't even like Dominicans, but Dominican Day Parade. So in my head, I wanted to say this out loud, but in my head I was like, what do you don't like about Dominicans? And I was like, alright, whatever. I mean, everyone got their preference. I mean, it's not like we all the same, I guess. So and then later on, I'm stretching it a little bit. Okay, so the title is a little bit clickbaity. I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit clickbaity because this isn't exactly racism, but it is a stereotype, and it did annoy me. So when she was calling out attendance at the end of class, she got up to my name. She was like, she didn't even call me by my first name either. She called me by my last name, so my last name is Hernandez. So she didn't say Christopher, she didn't say Cristobal, she just said Hernandez. I'm like, present. So I participated in class. I gave them a trash. That's what it was. I said the Statue of Liberty is a tourist attraction, and so is the 4th of July because people come to see the fireworks. And I remember hearing that sometimes they have like boats or something, like the boats start doing something on 4th of July in New York. I don't remember, I don't know what specifically, but that was what I was thinking. I'm like, 4th of July, boats, blah blah blah. So when she was calling out attendance, got to my name, she said Hernandez. I said present. And then she said, matter of fact, since that's your last name, can you tell me another attraction that will bring tourists to New York or something like that? So in my head, I'm like, okay, was there like a monument I missed that like someone with my last name made or something, or like a holiday with my last name or something? Just to find out this bitch was talking about baseball. So I'm sitting here like, really? Baseball? Did you just assume I like baseball? Like, and like I said, the title is a little clickbaity, I'm not even gonna lie. But let's be honest, it's a stereotype. It's mostly just the way she said it. If she would have just been like, oh, baseball's an attraction, like, you could have said basketball or football. I mean, isn't the Giants Stadium in New Jersey? I remember hearing this. I'm not into football either. I'm mostly just into baseball. I mean basketball. So she was like, so she kept telling me, oh, you're not using your head, this, that, and the third. I'm like, so I said out loud in class. I know she heard me. She didn't respond to it, but I know she heard me because I said it pretty loud and the classroom was fairly quiet. So I said, like, out loud, I'm like, what does my last name have to do with baseball? Because it's true. What the fuck does that? That's like a man. That's like as cringy as those white people that like when you. Like, if you're a person of color or anything, like, you get into like a white person's Uber or whatever, and they'll be like, they start talking about basketball automatically. And it's like, what makes you think I'm into basketball? Like, do you just assume I like that? Like, you know what I mean? So it was like, why me specifically? Like, what, she come straight at my name, and it was also the whole, I don't even like Dominicans, and it's like, yo, like, is that why you moved my seat to the back of the classroom? Like, that's why you moved all the left-handed seats? But anyways, I'm gonna end this right here. It was a quick little story that happened earlier this week. It's still pretty fresh on my mind. I'm gonna leave this off to like the 3 people that comments. I'm just leave this off. Do y'all think she racist? Do you think I experienced racism? No, I'm playing, but yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.